right, everyone. Thank you for tapping in today. I am Kaylin, your host of Tap In Thursdays. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. YouTube, make sure you share this video. We have a very special guest today, Lavar Jacobs, Senior, of Not Just October. And we're going to get into it. I also have a quote today before we get started. It's very simple, but I think it has a powerful message. And that quote of the day is, "Without order, there's no increase." Pastor Werner, my pastor, said that, and I think that's a beautiful quote. It resonates with me because, look, you can't get anything done without having discipline, without knowing consistency, and without being organized. So I think it goes a long way. What do you think about that quote?
I feel the exact same way you do, and that's one of the biggest things that I've been working on, being organized. And possibly what he meant about it is the order in life, like God, and then everything else under that. You know, got to keep everything in order. So, yeah, I totally understand that. And I'm a Pastor Vernon baby, too.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Shout out to the Word Church. Right? Mm-hmm. So, yes, I definitely like that you said that. You have to have that relationship, or in my experience, you have to have that relationship with God in order to reap the benefits of, success even. So giving him that time, getting down on your knees, praying to him when you are, going through it, not just when you need something from him. So it's definitely a good quote that I definitely use in my day-to-day.
Awesome. I understand. I do too.
Yep.
Now.
Right. Now.
Every day.
Because it's just so important. All right, so let's just get started on these questions.
All right.
So who is Lavar Jacobs? I know it's a loaded question, right? But just tell me 30-second intro.
Okay. Lavar Jacobs, Senior, is a father, a husband, someone who has a deep love for our community, someone who had a deep love for his mom, well, still has. So that's why I've devoted the majority of my life to, making sure my mom's memory still lives. I'm an employee at Akron Metro. I drive the bus. I really enjoy making people happy in any way, outside of Not Just October and everything I do. I just like to make people smile. I'm a son. I still got my father. Just trying to be a great person in the world, honestly. Right. That's me, Lavar Douglas Jacobs Sr.
Well, that is such a long name. But that's awesome.
It's going to mean something one day.
Yes.
It already does, but it's going to.
Right. I believe that, especially after, people see this podcast and really tap in with who you are. Mm-hmm. Run them numbers up, y'all. And I think you play a lot of roles, right? You're a father, business owner, a husband, right? So it's just a lot of roles you have to play, and you need that balance.
Definitely.
Balance is important. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. But the next question I have for you is, what inspired Not Just October?
Well, me and my mother, we were very close. And my mom passed away in 2009 due to breast cancer. So my mom actually passed away on February 7th, which is Monday.
Okay.
But, me and my mom, we were like best friends. And she was 49 years old when she passed away. So I just feel like she didn't get to really live, and do everything that she wanted to do in life. So after I matured a little bit and got ready to, take on the real world, because I was only 22 or 23 when she passed away, it was just time for me to start something soon after. So in 2014, I started Not Just October. So my mom got diagnosed in February of a few years before. She passed away in February. It's women right now this February going to chemotherapy and radiation. Not Just October means to me that people are battling breast cancer all year. It's not just about during the month of October when everybody wears pink and pink is everywhere. Once everybody puts their pink up, there's still women battling, going through it, chemotherapy, radiation, the fatigue, all the effects of the illness. So Not Just October was inspired by a person that knew breast cancer attacks all year and they deserve all year. So that's why I started Not Just October.
I love that. Yeah, because that 1 month is excellent that they dedicated, to that 1 month, but to have it all year round, because women still deal with that on a day-to-day, is very inspiring. You're just a reminder to those who maybe only see it as a monthly thing,
right,
to really start thinking about it in a different way.
Definitely. Did you wear pink for me?
I did.
That's what's up.
Yeah, not just October. Yeah, pink all year round instead of October and what? We're in February, so listen, wear your pink all year round and also support the movement.
Appreciate that.
No problem. How did you get started?
Well, I had the idea one day. I was driving my bus, so I looked up the name and saw that nobody had that name. So I'm like, okay. Boom.
That's the first start.
Yep. So I looked at the name, saw that nobody had the name. Then I went to buy the domain, notjustoctober.org. Domains aren't very expensive. It was like $20 to buy the domain. I just wanted to do it to make sure that I had it, because I don't know who in the whole world was thinking of that at the same time. You know what I mean? So I had to do that, and then soon after I made an Instagram. At first, Not Just October was going to be something that I wanted my wife to run, because my wife, she, is a mild-mannered, super intelligent woman. At the time, I was just transitioning out of throwing parties and stuff, so I didn't know how people would view me as I started a nonprofit organization. So I told my wife, you can go and look at the first post on the Not Just October page. It says, like, this is something that me and my wife talked about that she wants to take control of and all of this. But, so I made the Instagram. My wife, she supports me 100%, but it's not her baby. So she would never be as passionate about it as I am. So I had to take the reins and, this is what my life is devoted to now. Right. So I started my Instagram. I actually had to borrow some money. Well, one of my good friends, his name's Rob, he actually purchased my first set of wristbands. This is how I got started.
Shout out to Rob.
I got started with some wristbands. I think we bought like 500 silicone wristbands, and I just started giving them to people, asking people to post pictures in them, like post a picture of the wristband. Right. So now people are posting pictures of the wristbands. I had my first event with the Young Black Professionals Coalition. Shout out to DJ Mr. King, Eric Fletcher, all of them, great people. Those were actually the first people that I told about the organization the day I made the Instagram. I saw them. We were at Garfield. I'll never forget it. I couldn't bench press 135. It got stuck on my neck. But anyway, I told them about the organization, what I wanted to do. They were all the way supportive. Rob got me those wristbands. People started taking pictures. Then it got to the point that I could sell the wristbands, because a lot of, marketing and business is based on, word of mouth, popularity. So if somebody sees KV with the wristband, they're like, man, where'd you get that at? You know what I mean? So then they'll contact me like, I want a wristband. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to sell these for $3.65, which is basically 365. And that's how many days it is in a year. Right. And that's a lot greater than 31 during the month of October.
Ooh, I'm here with it. Okay, that's
so
smart.
Boom,
I like that.
Got these wristbands, selling those. I had my first event with YBPC. It was a breakfast. That was real nice. We had some survivors there. We just hit the ground running with Not Just October. I was very, very active on social media. Shout out to social media. Whoever came up with that. I'm going to say Napster, MySpace. Those back in the day.
We were low-key graphic designers at that point, and web developers.
Definitely.
Hooking up our pages and all that stuff.
Yeah, so very active on social media, meeting people in Akron, outside of Akron. It was just exciting. That's how I started the organization. And now I spend every single day working on it. It's not a moment in the day that I'm not thinking about Not Just October.
Right. It's your baby, like you said.
Definitely.
And I think, you speak to entrepreneurship, and anyone trying to start a business, because it doesn't always plan out the way that you expect. Like you mentioned, you thought your wife would be running it, but you realize, like, this is something that you're passionate about. You lost your mother and you want to dedicate this to her. And while, I'm sure your wife seeing her as family as well, it just comes off a little bit differently. Your marketing, the way that you take time to really go out and maybe get out into the community. All those things matter. So I think that's the route we take, in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I
it's
had
not
to
always
get
a
to
straight way.
Yeah, I had to get to it myself, and thank God it's working out.
Yeah, for sure. You're doing great things.
Thank you.
So where are you located? You do have a building. So where are you located?
The Kim Jacobs Breast Cancer Resource Center is on Kenmore Boulevard, 946 Kenmore. Yep, 946 Kenmore Boulevard. Yep, we're located right across the street from the library on Kenmore Boulevard. I love Kenmore. They've, accepted me with open arms. I'm enjoying it over there. I love it there, honestly.
So is that the community that you're from?
No,
originally?
I'm from Copley.
Okay.
Raised in Copley High School, got grown, bought a house in Copley. I'm a Copley. Okay. I live in Copley now.
Gotcha.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, because I was going to say, I was going to speak to, to have a center in the community that, you were born in or raised in, so to speak. But still, it's just to have it in Akron alone. And we are in February, guys. And it's Black History Month. And he actually is and has the first Black-owned breast cancer center in Ohio. So we want to speak to that. How does that feel? How has that impacted you?
It might be the world.
The world, okay, in
but
the world.
We're gonna go with Ohio.
Yeah.
But it feels great, because at the end of the day, I'm building a legacy that my kids will always be able to look up to. So just to know that I am Black history, we are history. Shout out to these hoodies.
Yes, shop.
We are history, but just making a difference that people can look up to. Maybe one day I'll be in the books. They'll talk about Not Just October and Lavar Jacobs Sr. and what he did. So just to make my race proud, my ethnicity, my culture, my city, my family. I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. So do you have any events or any upcoming events that contribute to the Black community or will contribute this month in honor of Black History Month? No,
we focused on releasing this piece of merchandise just to, incorporate breast cancer and Black history, so you talk to the designer. Shout out to Naira. She's located in North Carolina. She does an amazing job. But we just wanted to incorporate the two because Black women are very high in the numbers of battling breast cancer and being diagnosed with it. So we really wanted to take the time out this year and be intentional about Not Just October supporting the Black History Month cause, because Black History Month is another thing that it's all year,
right.
We deserve way more than 1 month,
Yeah.
We deserve way more than 1 month.
We do. I agree. So how can people donate to Not Just October?
Hold on. Is this thing on? No, I'm just kidding. To donate, you can go to www.notjustoctober.org. We have a lot of information on the website, and you can donate there. You can purchase our merchandise there and just learn more about the organization. So that's www.notjustoctober.org.
All right, and I will also put that in the description below. So what sets you apart from other organizations in your community?
Well, me, I have a very, very outside of the box way of thinking. I like to use different tactics when it comes to marketing that, other people might not use, such as that song that I let you hear today. Just went to the studio, wrote a whole song.
He shocked me, guys.
My friend made the beat, and we got out there and did that, recorded a video for it. I have the awareness mobile. I'm a young Black man. I drive a pink car everywhere. Just
ain't nothing wrong with it. Just for NJO.
Right. Just thinking outside the box. And I'm very personal with the families and the women who are battling. People are always very surprised that they can call the Not Just October number and it's me. Because they're used to dealing with organizations where, you might call, get an operator, get some other person. But when you call Not Just October, it's Lavar. So it's very important to me to get close to the family and really be there. The personal aspect, I think, is what really sets Not Just October apart.
That's great because it is cold outside. If you are from Ohio, we just got hit with a snowstorm, and I remember seeing a post where you and a couple people got together and shoveled driveways of the women who, you know, deal with cancer and breast cancer. So speak to that.
Well, in the past, I would always hire a company to go out and do those things. But this year I was sitting there and I just had the idea, like, let's just go do it ourselves. So I got my oldest son, he's 13, and my friend Jalen, he drives a big monster truck, so it was easy for him to get through the snow. So he came and picked me up and we did it on our own. And that's so just nice. The personal aspect of Not Just October. It's not about the things that we do. They're very important, but I love that they really come from me, really personal. Everything is very personal because I always think about how I would feel if someone did this certain thing while my mom was battling breast cancer. That's always my thought process.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to how that sets you apart, right? Because you do get those nonprofits that maybe put those things on the back burner and just get someone else to do it, and you know that doesn't speak to the people who, you know, help build the organization, the actual patients and people who really tap in with you. And I know, speaking firsthand, you know, speaking to all the business owners out there, you have to experience something in order for you to actually run a proper business. How will it be successful if you know nothing about it? So getting out there, getting hands on, getting your hands dirty is so important.
Oh yeah, and I'm definitely a pay somebody to do something type of person.
Me too.
But you know, I love being out there for Not Just October and really doing this stuff on our own. Like if you go look at our past videos, we do this thing. It's called Project Pink, where we get a lot of people. We all get matching t-shirts and we pick one lady's house to fully do her whole landscape. And so we cut the grass, plant flowers, plant trees, mulch, everything.
Awesome.
So we have a before and after picture. It's all video recorded. You know, shout out to all the good people. I have a lot of good people that work with me.
So how can people, you know, I know you mentioned how people can donate, but how can people actually get out here with you guys and actually do some community outreach, volunteer?
Is this thing on? No. Contact me.
That camera too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Contact me. I'm all on social media. My name is Lavar Jacobs. On Instagram, I'm Lavar D Jacobs. Twitter, Lavar D Jacobs. At Not Just October. At Not Just October. I'm on Facebook as Lavar Jacobs Sr. Not Just October. I'm everywhere. Please contact me. Let's work together. Let's change the world together. That's all I'm about. Everybody has some type of skill. You have a skill. You definitely have a skill. Contact me and we'll put that skill to good use and we'll change the world together. That's what I'm about. That's what I like to do. I'm like the guy in Taken. I have a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for breast cancer. And so do you. So let's do this together.
Yes. Liam Nelson. Yeah, I love him. Taken. All right. So what do you think is the hardest part about running a nonprofit?
The hardest part that I deal with is probably funding. I've come out of pocket several times for Not Just October, and I will continue to do so if I have to, because sometimes as a grassroots, just beginning organization, it's hard to secure donations and grants and things like that, especially being new in the space. But I'm learning more, focusing more, and just really getting out there, taking these meetings, meeting as many people as possible to try and secure all the funding to do everything that I need to do. Because my goal is to touch every woman that's battling breast cancer in the United States. And that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely. So how important is it having a team, you know, being a nonprofit?
Well, over the years, when I first started, it was just me, everything. Social media, emails, phone calls. Every single thing was me. Then I met Ariel, Nicole, Ariel Bell. She is amazing. She started out as a publicist. Now she's my communications director. You know, so she handles a lot of things like emails and just really getting Not Just October out there. We have a treasurer. Her name is Arkia Walker. She's awesome. You know, she's a financial guru, and she's just locked in on the mission of Not Just October. So she's more than just a treasurer. She's really, you know, very helpful. We have a marketing director or a marketing company that we, you know, consult with. Her name is Sierra Nicholson, and she's handling social media and things like that. You know, at first it was hard for me to delegate because it's like I said, it's my baby. So it's hard for me to tell somebody like, hey, go make some social media posts for Not Just October. And then I see them like, dang, I would have said that differently, done that differently, colored that differently. But now as I'm growing as a business owner and, you know, a nonprofit organization owner, I'm learning I need people. You know, I need people. So over the years, I've just continued to meet good people, and I'm learning to delegate more. I'm not hands off, but I'm hands off in certain areas because you have to let people do what they're good at.
Right.
Me, I'm good at, you know, talking and, you know, being present. The treasurer, she's good at financial things. Ariel, she's good at communication. Sierra, she's good at marketing. So, you know, we all come together and build this conglomerate of Not Just October that's going to change the world. I have Maxine. She's my office manager at the center. A great woman. She's retired. She actually is like one of the best people that I've met since I started Not Just October. She's always at the center. People come in, she meets them. I always get emails like, wow, your office manager is so awesome. She's perfect. You know, so we all just come together. I have a host of volunteers that help out all the time. Shout out to all of them. But we come together to, like I said, build this conglomerate of Not Just October that's going to change the world, and we're going to do it together.
I love that. I really
appreciate
do.
it.
So, yeah, I mean, even when you spoke about being personal with your clientele or your patients and the people you're giving back to, how can you make time to go out and shovel when you're filling all these roles? So having a team is definitely important.
Very.
On the back end.
Even LeBron needs a team.
Exactly. So we spoke to, you know, the hardest part about running a nonprofit. What's the most rewarding?
The smiles and the happiness, the joy that we bring. I always ask people, like, when's the last time you made somebody cry tears of joy? You know, some people can't remember or they've never done it. Me, I promise you, I make somebody cry every week. You know, at least once a week. I ain't gonna say every single day, but at least once a week I make somebody cry. Tears of joy. Just happiness, bring happiness. You know, like I said, we try and use outside of the box methods, so we do things for women that they might not be expecting. For instance, if a woman tells me that she just was diagnosed and she's about to have her first chemotherapy treatment, I send her flowers. You know, she wasn't expecting those. You know, just anything that I can do to make people happy. That's why I'm here. I think that's why God put me in this position. So I'm just, you know, living my purpose. Shout out to my friend John. You know, just doing my thing.
Shout out to John. Live Your Purpose podcast. Tap in with them. So what's one thing that has happened to Not Just October that you didn't really expect to happen?
Being on the Steve Harvey show.
Nice.
We were working hard. We were doing a lot of things for a lot of people. You know, Ariel, she was working hard for me through emails and networking and meeting people. And that came, and that was mind-blowing. I've never experienced anything like that. It was just insane, you know, getting a email with your itinerary, your plane tickets already purchased, your hotel already purchased, you know, getting a guy at the airport with a sign when you get there, Lavar, Jacobs, you know.
You're official now. We made it.
Yeah, it was crazy. That's one thing I didn't expect. But in the future, whatever comes after that, I do expect because we put in a lot of work for Not Just October and help a lot of women. So, you know, we're just going to keep working hard. And I'm expecting Not Just October to be an amazing organization. And it's already great. So, you know, if anything happened today, I feel like I've already done more than I set out to do. So, you know, being on all these interviews and TV shows and all of this type stuff, it's amazing. And I wasn't expecting it, but it's happening. And I'm grateful. And I'm just going to keep trying to help as many women as I can, because that's the purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah, people don't understand, or business owners may not understand the importance of public relations, or having a publicist, or just having a social media presence overall.
Right.
Because there's so many people that are tapped in, outside of your local community that can take you places.
Well, I hear this all the time because this is the type of people I follow, but your biggest supporters of what you're doing are going to be strangers.
Right.
Your friends are great. I'm sure they'll support you, your close friends, but strangers are who will change your life for sure. So
absolutely.
And you got to treat everybody good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know.
You got it comes back around. Good karma is real.
Like, you really just have to treat everybody good. Sometimes people look down on people based upon how many followers they have or something like that. Shoot, there might be a millionaire who just decided to start his social media and has 5 followers that DM'd you. You better respond. Yeah. Because he might want to take this podcast to CNN.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not always about the followers, because it's about producing good quality content. Mm-hmm. And I know some people get discouraged from posting because they don't have a lot of likes, or the likes or the commentary that they want or expect. But it's like, no, just keep putting that out there, and people will really tune in with you eventually if you're consistent.
Listen to this. So you know how you gave me that quote from your pastor?
Yeah.
This is a quote from another pastor, Maceo at City of Joy. He put this on Facebook one day, probably like 2 or 3 years ago, but I've never forgotten it. He said, "You're gonna get more looks than likes." Like,
yep, that's true.
So everybody will see it, but maybe 2 people will like it, but 1,000 people saw it, they just didn't like it.
Right.
But
exactly.
It's important to stay consistent with content for sure, no matter what. I don't care if you get 0 likes. Keep going. Keep focusing on what you're doing, and never stray away from your path.
Definitely. It's almost, about the views and the likes, so to speak. So, all right. So do you have any tips for anyone looking to start a nonprofit?
Well, overall, really, I'll just give a tip for anybody trying to start any type of business. Buy one of her calendars.
Yes. Thank you for that little segue. Get you a planner.
Being organized is like the most important thing, and I'm just learning this. Like, Ariel is always on me about being organized. She hooked me up with this Google Calendar, and it has everything, all these meetings, because I always thought I was just so smart. So I would just have everything in my head, like, okay, Wednesday I got to do this. Friday, I got to do this. And then I started getting these messages like, hey, are we still on for today? I'm at da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, shoot. So, it's about being organized and always being ready. It's very important. Organization is so important, order.
Yes. Without order, there's no
success.
No increase.
Increase.
But it's okay. It's the same thing. You definitely need to be organized if you're going to reach some type of level of success, or even elevate in some capacity.
Yes, please be organized. Oh, and if you do want to start a nonprofit organization, make sure it's something that you're passionate about. Actually, any type of business. And you can't think that it's going to be an overnight success, or you're going to get, it's going to blow up. What's it called?
Overnight?
Not overnight success, instant gratification.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't work like that in any business.
No. And you'll sure find out the moment you start. Definitely have that passion behind it, or you're not going to feel motivated. It's not going to, it's going to feel like a job. It's going to feel like homework. And that's kind of what I was experiencing. So that's how I can speak to that, because it's just not a great feeling. You want to definitely be doing something that you're good at, but you're also passionate about too.
Yep. Passion.
Yeah, passion is important. So what's a common myth that is out there regarding nonprofits, or just running one as a business in general?
Well, a common myth with nonprofits is that there isn't any profit in it. Nonprofit organizations are just like regular companies. People have salaries and things like that. But in my field of Not Just October, there's a common myth that only women get breast cancer. So a lot of people don't know that men can get breast cancer also. Like, as a man whose mom had breast cancer, I have to always make sure that I can check myself, and if I felt anything crazy, make sure that I contact the doctor. So it's important to know that.
In what ways has COVID impacted Not Just October?
Well, one way that was actually good, COVID gave me some time to think because I wasn't working. And COVID gave me the courage to jump off the porch and open the center. Right in the middle of the pandemic is when I signed the lease for the center. I didn't know what was next or what was going to go on, but I had that thought and that vision. I've had the idea for years, and it just was a very important part of the growth of the organization. Like, I never want to feel stagnant or like I'm not knocking off and checking off all my goals. So the time just came, I started looking, and the perfect building came, and boom, now we have the Kim Jacobs Breast Cancer Resource Center at 946 Kenmore Boulevard. And
period.
And like a negative thing that came from the pandemic is I can't be as personal with people due to people having compromised immune systems. The people that I deal with personally through Not Just October have an underlying illness, so I don't want to be around somebody and possibly give them COVID, so I don't get to actually touch and hug on the families as much. We still make deliveries and things like that, but it's just not the same.
Well, that's important. That's an important aspect of the business, right? And we spoke about that a little bit earlier. So I get it, but I mean, as the numbers start to go down, do you find yourself still putting yourself in positions to help people, or what events or anything that you have coming up that contribute to all of that?
We find ways to help women, through grocery drop-offs, just leaving things on porches, shoveling their snow, waving to them through the window, all of that. And really our main event and my main focus of the year is our walk. We have our own walk on the third Saturday of October. Last year we had our first one. It was huge. It was amazing. So I'm just looking forward to continuing to grow that. Hopefully everybody is safe by then. Last year we gave out masks. Like, we're going to keep everybody safe, and we're going to keep, pushing the envelope and changing the world in our own way. I'm really, really looking forward to the walk this year. That is the third Saturday in October. It's going to be amazing.
I feel bad that I haven't been to the one last year, since that was the first one.
Yeah.
So I'll be there this year.
You should be, and you should cover it with the podcast. You bring all your equipment.
Oh, I love that idea. I love that idea. We definitely can do that.
It's going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. So this is a podcast where, people obviously can tap in with the creative, the mastermind behind the business. But I also want people to learn, right, from this podcast, or feel inspired, connect with the people that are on the show. And I want people to know what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So what do you say is a good character trait someone should have if they want to own a business or just start something, put something out there for people to see?
You have to be self-motivated. You can't be motivated by the fact that you look on social media and see people with nice cars and jewelry and all of that. That's not the reason to start a business, and it's not going to work like that. You have to be self-motivated. You have to wake yourself up in the morning. You have to go hard for exactly what you want. You have to be passionate about your business. You have to really, really want it. You have to live, breathe, eat, everything your business. There's nothing that should get in the way of you. You might fall, you might stumble, but you have to get back up and focus on that business. That's how I am with Not Just October. There's been several things that might not have worked how I wanted it to work, but I brushed that under the rug and kept going. You have to keep going. You can't let anything stop you. Oh, I'm getting kind of crazy. But you got to keep going. You got to stay focused. you gotta be self-motivated. Like I said, you have to motivate yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody is going to be as passionate about what you're doing as you are. So focus, self-motivated, and don't look for the instant gratification, because it's not coming. That's why you're in the game. It's not coming. Don't start a business just for money, because it's not coming. It might come eventually, but initially it's not coming.
You gotta put up more to get money out of it.
It's not all it's cracked up to be, and don't let social media fool you, because I also heard at an event when someone says, don't compare your life to somebody's best life, because nobody's really putting on social media, you know, that their bills aren't paid, or that this isn't happening, or, you know, everybody's putting the good things.
Right.
So don't compare your life to somebody's best life.
And we don't know truly what's going on behind that screen. So
behind my screen, you know, Not Just October is helping women.
Right, always. And it's authentic. Nothing fake over here. So that's good. So you spoke to being on the Steve Harvey show. Mm-hmm. That's super awesome. So how important is it to have media coverage for a nonprofit?
Well, I appreciate all of the media coverage that Not Just October has gotten, from local companies to national companies. It's really just overall important, because the more people that find out about Not Just October, the more people I'm going to help. Mm-hmm. Word of mouth is one of the greatest things when it comes to the organization, because if somebody knows about it and they find out somebody has breast cancer, they send them to me. Mm-hmm. So that's why media is important to me, because it helps me help as many women as possible.
Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, I mean, if you want more donations, people have to know about the organization. They have to also understand the mission behind it. Mm-hmm. Actually see the business owner getting involved, getting their hands dirty, like we mentioned, and actually helping and doing something, and not just saying that they're a nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah, because there's some people probably out there that, you know, will consider doing that. And no, it has to be, one, you have to be passionate about it, and two, you actually have to get out there and show people what it is you're doing, so that they can want to do it too.
Self-motivated.
Yep. Self-motivation. So speaking of that, what is a productivity hack that you may recommend for entrepreneurs?
Google Calendar. Definitely just be organized. Go get one of these. They're on Amazon. Please stay organized. Write down your goals and your visions. Stay organized. That's the number one. That's what my year is devoted to. Staying organized in every way, whether it's financially, socially, you know, through the emails or the messengers, like everything, because there's so many different avenues of people to contact you. Whether somebody writes you on Facebook Messenger, inboxes you on Instagram. So let me just give you an example. Me personally, I have 3 Instagrams. I have 1 Facebook. I have a Twitter. So just think, if people contact me on every single one of these, now I'm sitting, and if I'm not putting this in the calendar, the things that are going on, I have to think like, dang, did that person write me on Twitter, or did they write me on the Lavar Jacobs Instagram, or the Not This October one, or, you know, so it's very important to be organized, because if you slack in any moment, it's like you're just getting covered. It's like an avalanche. So be organized. And
things could change, right? You know, it could be seen as unprofessional. You don't know where I contacted you from, and I'm trying to donate, you know. Right. So at least that's the things that I'm looking for. It's really the small things, you know. And so, yes, being organized in this way, you know, owning a nonprofit is definitely very important. So why should people, last question I want to ask all of my guests, why should people tap in with Not Just October?
Tap in. No. Not Just October is an authentic organization from the heart. You know, I'm a passionate owner of this organization. It's grassroots, started from, you know, Akron, Ohio, young black man, you know, really doing these things that we say we're doing. You can go to our website, our social media, and see that we are doing what I say that we're doing. We're really focused on changing the whole landscape and culture of breast cancer awareness, aid, research, and education in the whole United States. This is something that you can get in right now and start supporting Not Just October, and one day you'll be able to be like, wow, that's the biggest nonprofit organization in the world. And I remember when it started in Akron, Ohio, and it all started with wristbands. Like,
right.
get down with us now. Please tap in. Please continue to support us. I think that we have something good going on. We want to help as many women as possible, and we need your help to do that. So tap in.
Tap in. Not Just October. I will put all of his information below, so make sure y'all tap in with him. Thank you, Lavar, for being on Tap In Thursdays.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. And thank you all for tapping in. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
I did the same thing.